Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Midnight Sesh. My name is Moises.
Welcome. My name is Nate.
Like,
I said, we're waiting on somebody else. Nope.
as of right now,
It's
no.
just us right now.
Us two. We just chilling. We are working on some things, working on getting things moved around. Slowly but surely, guys. We hopefully are going to get a little mini studio going. And hopefully start up the video recording.
Yeah.
So we can actually show you guys our faces and our expressions when somebody says some dumb shit.
You can actually see us smoking the real blunt.
No, we don't smoke real blunts. We smoke strictly, dickly, CBD.
Damn. Strictly dickly.
CBD.
Okay.
You know, we
Yeah.
out here. We want to make sure that we getting paid for these promotions that we slowly getting towards.
Exactly.
So if y'all see some ads on here, just know that it's because we need the money.
We got the CBD. The CBD gonna pay for the new updated features on here.
Get it, bro. That's the whole plan. But anyways, how's everybody's nights going? How's your night going, bro?
I'm chilling. I had to work by myself all day today, which was kind of shitty, but I mean, at least it made the day go by fast.
Yeah.
So, I mean, other than that, it was okay. I did have to leave, somebody did come in 15 minutes before closing, and I ended up having to close at 6:30 instead of 6.
Damn.
So I spent 45 minutes with this man, but I got a line out of it, I sold something out of it, so, I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that. 30 minutes, that's nothing. So, yeah.
Damn, I didn't do shit but sleep and go to Bob's Burgers.
Damn, I saw that shit. How was that?
It was good. I think you already know me. I'm not really much of a fry guy. So,
Yeah.
and I got JoJo's, but even then I was like, I don't know. I ate a good 10, 15, and after that I was like, I don't really care about these JoJo's no more.
Anytime I see Bob's Burgers, it actually reminds me of the show Bob's Burgers.
I know.
So I compare it to that.
The thing is that I think this one is just a franchise named Bob's Burgers, but then
Yeah.
there's an actual restaurant based off the show called Bob's Burger. I don't know where. I swear I saw it somewhere. I think somewhere in the East Coast. They have an actual restaurant based off of the show.
That makes sense because I think that show's in New York.
Oh, okay. See,
So
that makes total sense.
why it's
Yeah, this one's just a chain named Bob's Burgers, but it's
Yeah.
not based off of nothing.
Yeah, because I've seen a whole bunch of those, but I always just think about it like Bob's Burgers.
Yeah,
the
that's
fucking
sad.
show.
That's the only reason why. And then I passed through that freaking restaurant so many times since I was even in middle school. So today we were finally fuck it, let's just go try it.
Yeah.
And I finally did. It was good. Definitely, we'll probably go back.
Yeah.
But
Not something you can go to all the time.
it's because it's I'm also not a super burger fan.
What is
You know, you know what I mean?
It's probably like a Red Robin's then? Or
It's
what?
a fancier Red Robin's.
Oh, okay.
It's a fancier Red, more dine-in luxury. Red Robin's is almost like a fast food restaurant.
It's a fast food family dining.
Yeah, exactly. Where this one is kind of the same, but more fancier,
Yeah.
a little bit more high end, I guess.
Damn.
But it was still good. I mean, definitely would try to check it out again. Definitely not a spot that I'd probably go to all the time, but it's good enough to go to again.
As y'all can see, we like to eat out and check out new
We some
places.
foodies. So if y'all know any spots, some foodie spots, regardless of what state or country, because they're gonna be on my bucket list. So if one day I'm just in that state and or country, and I'm like, hey, bro, I got a list of places, and that it's on there, then I'm gonna go pass by it.
Recommend it.
I'm gonna try it out.
Write that shit down.
I love me some food.
Put it on the comments.
Put it on the
If you're
comments.
listening to this right now, put it on the comments. I don't care what the fuck you're doing. Write it down.
Just write it down in the comments.
Do it.
If you're on SoundCloud, does SoundCloud have comments?
Yeah.
Well, then go on SoundCloud, write a comment. If you're listening on Spotify, y'all probably don't got comments, so just go on our YouTube channel and write a comment.
Wherever you're listening right now.
If you're driving, pull over real quickly and leave a comment saying #driving and then get back on the road.
Put the comment down. No, not even that. Just drive and text it at the same time.
Well, first of all, don't do that. We want to make sure people are safe.
If you're a real fan.
Damn. Looks like I'm not even a real fan. I would not even do that.
Nah, it's cool.
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in her.
pull over, just write that shit down.
Write that shit down and get back on the road.
If
Easy
you fuck
peasy
with
lemon
us,
squeezy.
you'll leave a comment down there saying your favorite restaurant.
Favorite
and
restaurant.
And any other shit we should check out.
Any other shit.
Yeah. I mean, sounds like you had a chill ass day, bro.
It was cool. I got the rest of the week off because it's my birthday week.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. Aries season out here. You know, Aries gang. You guys already know what the fuck the vibe is.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. So y'all remember to say happy birthday on the Instagram. Ooh.
The last thing you said is say happy birthday on IG.
Yup.
Is that? Oh, we back? Oh, fuck. yo.
We had a little break.
Make sure don't say happy birthday, guys. I don't like when people say happy birthday.
I remember to post that.
Sorry, by the time this gets posted, my birthday already long gone, long past. I am.
Damn, this man about to be 35.
Yeah, I'm about to be 35, y'all.
That's crazy.
You know what's funny about that is that last year, I was only about to turn 16. I was at work, bro. I'm a time traveler.
The same way from the movie 13 going on 30 happened, you know?
Fun.
That's what happened, bro. 16 to 35.
I don't know which way this wood is supposed to go.
Damn, and then he was just out here before we started freaking talking, saying that he rolls the best woods and shit. Now he can't even figure out which way to roll it.
No, it's because I cut into a square, so it's like it
comes
down to how I want to roll it. Bitch. I'm sorry, it said the one that can't roll none.
Shit, my bad.
Your blunts are trash, bro. We gonna talk.
At least it still rolls enough to hit.
Fuck no.
Yup.
Hell no, bro. We not gonna start this right now. You're gonna get roasted.
Fuck.
Slater gonna get off the podcast crying.
Damn. Comment down below if you want to hear me leave the show.
Right.
Get roasted.
Y'all want to hear Pedro cry?
Damn. I'm scared.
Oh shit! But anyways, what we got going on today? We are rolling on some. What is this called? Cookie Kush.
Ooh.
Oh, I lied. Cookie cake.
Ooh, and it's in a jar.
It's a hybrid. I got a whole ounce of it because birthday week.
It's a hybrid of.
It's an indica hybrid.
Nice.
I've been getting. I feel like I've said this plenty of times, but I've been getting mainly indicas and hybrids because sativas make my heart race, and I don't like when that happens. So, strictly dickly indica hybrids over here.
I feel like since I've been hitting a lot of sativas, it's been like now that I've been recently getting more indicas, I've been feeling way more of a like.
It's such a chiller high, you know. It's like your head's not racing, and then your body's also not racing. Because I feel like a lot of times, like a sativa is really good when you want to, like, let's say clean. If you want to clean, smoke a good sativa, and you're ready for the cleaning, bro.
Yeah.
Like, at least for me, anyways. That's why I also like, partaking in cannabis, because then there's moments like that I'm like, I need this.
With the sativas, at least me also, I'd be fucking waking up like with like my head like freaking feeling
banging.
Yeah, and then with the indicas, it's not as much, but I still have it,
and
it hurts way less. But it still goes away after like I wake up and just like get my day started and shit like that. But the indicas like slightly, and it just goes away like maybe after 20 minutes or something like that, or even less. Yeah.
Fair. Well, what we got going on today, Mr. Sladro, since we're talking about indicas and sativas?
Today, we're going to go back to school.
Going back to school.
Because I feel like everybody hasn't been to school in a while. We need to go back and reteach ourselves and relearn ourselves. And in this episode, since we've done so many episodes, all our episodes include cannabis and the consumption of it. So we kind of figured, let's do an episode where we talk about what cannabis is and kind of just like the basics of it, just so that people out there that start listening, maybe if this is the first episode you're listening to, you kind of get if you've never heard about cannabis, if you don't know about it, then I don't know where the fuck you living at. But if you don't know like any information about it or don't know too much about it, then this is kind of like a starting point. But again, like at the end of this whole presentation that I ended up making, it's like, do your own research at the end of the day also, because a lot of this stuff I just found through like whatever sources that were looked legit to me after reading through them. So I mean, there might be other sources out there that have different sayings, and I did get through some of them that like said said one thing, and then I checked like another source, and then they would be like, nah, this is what's actually going on, and it'll come up. It's not like a lot, but it's like one little thing that came up during my little research that came up where I was like, wait, this just said this, but then this other website just said this, so they're like contradicting each other. So that's what I'm saying. Go and look up the research this stuff if you want to, and find out what else you can do with cannabis and CBDs and THCs and all this shit. So again, this is just like an intro to it, just to get people. If you didn't, maybe it's some things that you don't even know about, or some things that you already knew, but it's just the basics of what it is. Should we get into it?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Let's get into it. All right. I literally made a PowerPoint, guys. If you wanted to see it, just DM us and I will send it to you. Cool. It's not really that long. Just something little simple.
Some slight.
Yep. So obviously, weed 101. Come on, guys. Let me ask you, what do you know about weed? Like, when was it that you heard about weed?
When I first heard about weed,
Mm-hmm.
I think 3rd, 4th grade.
Mm-hmm.
3rd or 4th grade when I first heard. Well, actually, I think throughout my whole life, I have been in situations where I smell cannabis around my vicinity.
Yeah.
And my parents were always just saying that they were smoking like a cigar or something. But I didn't really understand what weed was until like I had a DARE class, and then I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then in middle school is when I actually started seeing it and partaking into it, which I don't recommend, but that's just the lifestyle that happened, or the cards that I was dealt in that experience.
Just where you live, and like you said, the experience. I feel it. I think I didn't really know about it too until maybe that DARE program, and then I did smell it one time, but this was like in Seattle when I was like maybe way younger, maybe like 1st, 2nd grade. I was in Seattle and I smelled it, and I was next to my mom, and I told her, what the hell is that nasty smell? And then she told me it's like something else. She didn't tell me what it was at the time, because obviously I'm a little ass kid. She's not gonna fucking tell me, oh, that's weed, it's a drug, or some shit like that. I probably wouldn't have comprehended that. But yeah, that's like the first time that I ever came in contact with it, and then I didn't really smell it. Like wherever I lived, I never really smelled it that much and I didn't really learn about it more until, like you said, till we did the DARE thing like in 5th grade, and then I wasn't really introduced into it until maybe like I would say like freshman year of high school is where I really tried it out, and I was like, okay, this is what it is. But yeah. Share down your stories below, guys.
Let us know how you first heard about cannabis.
But yeah, I just wanted to hear what Moises' part was. So let's get into this. What is cannabis? So obviously cannabis goes by different names. Everybody calls it something different. Weed, marijuana, kush. What else? What other names do they have out there?
Zaza, sweet booty juice kush.
It doesn't matter what you call it. At the end of the day, it's the same.
We on some cookie cake right now.
Thing, okay? So obviously, weed is a plant that's grown, and then it contains this like molecule in there. It's called, the scientific name for it is the delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC for short. Yeah. So pretty much what this THC does, it just basically affects like your brain function pretty much affects your brain function. So these flowers and the leaves of the cannabis are like pretty much dried up, and they're either smoked or they can be ate, and pretty much for like a psychoactive effects from the THC. So that's how basically when you're smoking, you feel like this high from it. It's hard to explain because I feel like everybody feels the same high, but like it's hard to compare yours to somebody else's. But
Of course.
I think at the end of the day, you're still feeling that same psychoactiveness that the weed is giving to one person.
Of course.
Yep. But that's pretty much what it is. And then this can even just alter like your perception and even change your mood. So like say you're feeling sad, this weed might freaking make you feel happy again, and you might start laughing out of nowhere for whatever reason, just because you're smoking some good ass weed. So something like that, you know? The ASMR. But that's pretty much what cannabis is. It's a plant that can be smoked or it can be used for like, you know, eating. Some people freaking put it in food. Some people just like put it. Can you make tea out of it? I don't even know.
I feel like you can. It's a plant, so
Yeah. But like they put it in creams. They use like the CBD for creams and like shampoos. I know my girl has like a shampoo that uses cannabis or, you know, all this other type of shit in there. So there's just like different forms of it for that. And then it's kind of like what we were just going over too. Since there's different forms of cannabis, like the way that you can use it, there's also like two main versions of cannabis, how like we were just talking about earlier. So there's a sativa and there's an indica. And I didn't really know this, but like I looked at this photo that I like seen on here, but like pretty much for the sativa, it's gonna be like the skinny, like if you see it right here.
Yeah.
You guys can't see it, but more can see it.
I know which one's
But the sativa has like the thinner leaves, and then the indica has the fatter leaves. But they're pretty much all in the same shape, which I didn't know. I thought at the end of the day that it was just the way that it was grown was going to be what made it different. I didn't know that like the leaves and all that kind of stuff were going to be all the same thing type of that. But pretty much the main differences, like to sum it up, the sativa is your mind high, like we were saying before. So when you smoke your sativa, you're going to be high in your head. You're going to be thinking a lot. And all that kind of stuff. And then indica is more of a body high. So how we were just mentioning, you feel more like a couch lock and all this type of thing. So like sativas, they're pretty much known for producing that head high, and people like to use them to like help with their depression. So which is pretty interesting because in some of my findings that I was seeing, this is like one of the things, because they either say that cannabis, like consuming it, either helps you fight depression or either increases your depression, because it could do both depending. But I mean, I don't know. I can kind of agree with that, and I kind of like believe it too, or kind of disagree. But that's pretty much it. The other thing with sativa, you can, which I was like thinking, I was like, damn, maybe I should get this more for the podcast or for when I'm trying to do other stuff. But if you smoke sativa, this will basically help you boost like your focus and your creativity. Mm-hmm. So if you're trying to do something, you can smoke sativa, and say you're like trying to draw something, you're trying to get some inspiration, you can get some sativa or whatever it is, you know, maybe your candy or something, and use that to help you freaking paint something or make a song or whatever you need to do. And then some people even use it to reduce their anxiety, whereas at the same time, from my findings, is that what I've seen is sometimes some people say that sativa will just increase your anxiety, which has happened to me. Mostly like if I smoke too much or like if I take like a really big hit of something, my fucking anxiety goes like off the roof type of shit. So I have to do that shit in moderation where I'm not like freaking out. What about you?
I mean, I've had my fair share of anxiety attacks because of cannabis, but I've always been really well at kind of controlling it and understanding, okay, I'm experiencing this because, you know, cannabis, and understanding that thoughts or just the anxiety that's comes with it, like, it's because of that, you know, so, like, then it kind of calms me down, because then I'm like, okay, cool, I'm experiencing this because of this, and all I have to do is just wait it out until this is essentially gone, and I won't be feeling like this.
With me, I'm more like, if I'm feeling, like, really anxious, and then the freaking weed just makes me way more anxious, Like, it's way harder for me to calm down because even though I know this, my body's still kind of like, nah, bro, this is still happening right now.
Yeah.
Like, and, you know, it's going to be hours. Even though it's only hours, it's still my body's like thinking, like, nah, we're more focused on right now. Fuck what's going to, fuck how you're going to feel later. Like, you know, you're going to feel better later, but at the same time, my body's more and my brain are more worried about the now than what's going to be happening.
So, yeah, I feel like that's one thing that gets a lot of people, not only with cannabis but other drugs as well. That like they're so focused on the now about like what's happening now. They're like, bro, I'm gonna be like this forever. Yeah. Like, nah, bro, you're supposed to just chillax. Realize that you're experiencing what you're supposed to be experiencing because you took whatever you took, and now it's just the waiting game on like when it's gonna be over and done with, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's what sativa. So if you're trying to feel good, trying to do something cool, feel some energy, smoke yourself some sativa, or you know, get a hybrid of sativa that's more dominant. And then like how I mentioned, like indica is the body high, so this type of thing makes your body feel like couch locked. So if you're ever like sitting down, which I was just telling Moy about it, that I was like at a friend's house and we had smoked some indica, and I really just felt like I was sinking into his couch, which is true. So I was literally, that's how you feel, and you feel a lot more mellow when you're smoking the indica. So indica also has like a reputation for giving you like the munchies and relieving like any like physical aches and pains, which I think I can also kind of agree, because I think with like indica, because when I was hanging out with my friend, I was really more focused on eating, and that same night I had a bag of chips what I was munching on, and after I finished the bag of chips, I went out into the living room and grabbed like some cookies outside, and I was just grabbing a whole bunch of food.
And munchies.
With sativa, it's like I do get the munchies, but not that much. With indica, I was eating a whole bunch of shit. I was like, God damn, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why indica be nice. Whenever that's really good for people that are like, they have like eating problems, or they can't really consume that much food at a like you know in a short period of time.
Exactly.
It's like if you smoke some indica, then like you get the munchies, and then you're actually able to eat a good amount of food, and then that way when you go like the next day and a half with eating like the bare minimum, your body's at least like, yo, you had X amount of food at least on this day, you know. But it's funny. Do you know the nickname for indica?
No.
In the couch.
In the couch?
Because of that same reason that you were saying, that you just get glued to the couch. So that's why, like, one thing when you're out trying to purchase some cannabis and they have sativa and indica, if you want something that, like Pedro was saying, is going to just mellow you out, just think about, when it comes to indica and sativa, just think of indica as in the couch, because you're just going to get couch locked.
Yep. Exactly. But yeah, so basically with indica, if you have any pain, I guess, it helps you with that kind of stuff, which I haven't tested it out yet, but I guess there's science behind that, people.
Really? You've never had like, it's like your back hurting and then you smoke some indica and then you're like, you know what? My back doesn't really hurt that much.
No, I don't think I've ever had really. I've smoked with like a headache, but I don't think it was like any
That's not the same. No, that's not the same. Headache is not like a muscle pain, you know.
What's supposed to be? Yeah, well, I mean, you're right. It says physical aches and pains.
Yeah, but it's like if you, let's say, like if you maybe
hit yourself or some shit like that,
bang your toe or some bullshit. Yeah. Then if you were to smoke indica, it would help out with
so
that.
If I bang my toe, I should just take a fat old hit of some indica. That's what you said.
If you ever stub your toe, smoke the indica.
Damn. Yep. Yeah. So, but also with the indica, since like you get the couch lock and everything. This is like the main go-to for people that either use it to go to sleep or makes you more tired type of shit. So it makes sense. Indica gives you basically makes you tired, and sativa gives you the energy.
Sucks.
So say you're smoking and you're falling asleep, and you got your indica, maybe smoke some sativa, and maybe that'll wake you up.
Yeah. And again, I mean, every person is different, so it's going to affect you differently. I personally could say that there's been times where I can't sleep and I smoke indica and it does not help at all. So everybody's different. It affects everybody differently. And you won't always get the same results.
Exactly. So that's the two types of cannabises. that I just went through. Like I said, this is just a intro. There's nothing. I'm not really going deep about it. It's just kind of like this is literally information that anybody can go out and find.
But also, if y'all haven't heard the episode with our boy Sham Dean,
Yep.
Sham spoke a lot about like in the strains and the CBDs and the cannabinoids. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I'm not saying that correctly, but make sure to check that episode out with Mr. Sham. My name is Sham at IG.
Exactly.
If you guys want to know more, he is very knowledgeable. He works in a dispo, and I feel like he and himself has more knowledge than me and Pedro, which is good because we had that episode, and after that episode, it kind of opened my eyes more towards like CBD and using it for like the relaxation, you know, the being like anxiety and like just the benefits of CBD.
That's
more
what I was
towards
thinking too.
you know,
like, after he talked about that, I was like, damn. I was like, I want to try it now. You know, like I've never really taken anything like CBD like that, but now that he was sharing all that information,
and that's the thing. You don't have to take it. You can also just buy like you can just use it, put it on. You know, like there's this one that he showed me was like it was like a balm. It was like a I don't know exactly what the name of it was, but it was like almost like a tiger balm, but with CBD in it. And he was saying that like he always uses that after practices.
Damn.
So like imagine that, like just buy some balm. You don't have to like ingest nothing. You just put it on where you feel like you need something, and boom.
I need to check that. I need to check that shit out. What kind of CBD products y'all using out there?
Let us know because I've also been trying to get my mom into some CBD products because she be having that those pains and anxiety and whatnot. So if I can help her reduce the medication that she has to take, then that's a win in my book.
Yep. Filthy. I'm freaking high giving this presentation.
That's good.
All right, next slide.
Go ahead, Mr. Teacher.
So I thought it was kind of important to go over like a history, kind of like a basic history of cannabis. So this one, debatable if the source is good or not, but I went on history.com to look for this shit. So according to history.com, most ancient cultures didn't grow the plant to get high. Like a lot of them use them for medicine, and this likely started in Asia. I did see another one on there that said it started in Africa, but this one said that it spread to Africa when it first started in Asia, though. So
the first plant was in Asia, you think? Is that what it's saying?
That's what they're saying.
Damn, and then it went over.
Then it moved to like Asia and the other countries, and then it made it to the Americas and stuff like that.
That's crazy.
So that's like through their history. Other pages were saying different things. Some of them did say Asia. Like I said, it just depends on where you're looking.
But it came from the East. At least we know from the East. And I'm not talking about the East Coast. I'm talking about the East of the world.
So for like the history of cannabis in America, so this goes back to like the colonist times, like when they first started moving over here. So they all started like basically growing hemp, which is obviously another name for cannabis and weed and all that shit. And they were basically using it for like textiles, and they're like making ropes and shit like that. And then it didn't really like gain any like political like it says like political and racial factors in the 20th century. Pretty much led to like criminalization of marijuana in the United States. So it wasn't until the 20th century where the United States were basically saying like, you know what, weed is a bad drug, and or it's like a dangerous drug, and we need to put people in jail if they're using this. So yeah, I mean, but now obviously in some states that's changing, like here in Washington, where weed is currently legally, it's legal to consume in our state, but still federally legal. Illegal, my bad. I thought I said that. But it's federally illegal in the U.S. still. So it's like, you can still get fucked up over it type of shit. But it depends on where you're doing it and shit like that. Crazy thing too, not too crazy, but I kind of already knew this just from like other things that I've seen before I ever did this research, where it was basically saying, so like when they first started growing freaking weed and shit like that, the levels of THC were like way lower than what we have them right now. So you would probably have to smoke a whole bunch of weed back then in order to feel like as high as you are.
Yeah, the same high now.
Yeah, from one little blunt, from one little thing, you know? Because because back then people weren't really using it to smoke.
Yeah.
At least the first white people that were moving here, you know, they were using it for
industrial things.
Yeah, making shit for themselves, even clothing and like random shit like that. Because that plant was just really easy to grow, and it grew really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it was so much. Like I think I was reading also that the U.S. made farmers have to grow that because of how much use that the plant gave to like what they were doing and shit
so
like
crazy. And now here we are.
Exactly.
The history.
And it's crazy too because I remember Alejandro, my brother, shared like this photo online where it was basically saying like the U.S. didn't make like psychedelics and all this kind of stuff illegal because it's a drug. They made it illegal because all these indigenous groups were using it for their spiritual and sacred things. So that's why they took it away from them, because they're like, let's take away.
Comes down to racism.
Yeah, let's take away your religion. Let's take away this shit. Now you can't use these tools to speak to your God. Now you have to come and listen to my God type of shit. You know?
Damn, there goes the white people once again.
Exactly. All right, so there's even like some evidence of like ancient cultures that like this is kind of what I was getting into. So some ancient cultures knew about like the psychoactive properties of like the cannabis plant. So some of them like may have like cultivated like varieties to produce like higher THCs for their religious ceremonies and like healing practices. So, you know, ancient times, obviously people understood that shit. If you ever watch like old ass movies of like Native Americans and like somebody comes and joins their circle and they're smoking like a big ass pipe, that's them basically doing some kind of like religious or something with like, it might have been weed, it might have been a different drug, but that's pretty much what like you would decide like what it is.
Yeah.
But that's what they were pretty much doing.
And
so there were
what do you think like they were like seeing when they were doing these rituals? Like imagine if it was just like a ritual with just cannabis.
Yeah.
Like how we expand our minds and just the conversations that we have, like they were doing like rituals and like things that makes them see certain things. So it's like
I always think about that.
How woke did they feel, you think?
I feel like they were doing
Go ahead.
I feel like they were whatever they were doing. I don't know if they were seeing something, but I feel like maybe they were feeling something, at least with weed.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what you'd have to be smoking in order to see something with weed. I mean, I feel like sometimes I have seen some like figures.
I'm not talking about like
nothing crazy.
Actually see. I'm talking about like you close your eyes and you're in your head and see.
That's what I'm saying. They were probably seeing it in their head, but like feeling it around themselves because of the weed, for whatever way. And I don't know. Like it's hard for me to explain that shit because I don't.
We also don't know because we can't go that back.
We weren't there, and hopefully there's some studies about it somewhere, or there's people that are in those groups that are still alive that can share about like what is it that they were doing. Because I'd be down to do that. Check it out.
Just try it out.
Trying to connect to the universe, trying to connect to God and all this other shit.
That'd be crazy.
Exactly. But yeah, that's a little history about some cannabis, some weed, some Mary J. So the other thing that I was gonna go into, this one is just a little basic. THC, like what's the difference between THC and CBD? Which Sham, our friend, shared that. Hamoy was saying like all the benefits and the stuff about. So I was only gonna go over like a little bit of it. So the difference is, which sometimes people don't understand, the THC is what makes you feel high. This is the psychoactive compound that creates your high. And then so this is sourced from like marijuana, obviously. And then it's often for like conditions that cause pain. It's used for that type of shit too. Just depending. And then CBD, this is the non-psychoactive compound. So this one doesn't make you feel high, or doesn't make you feel like as high. What I didn't know is that in order for CBD to work, you need THC in there. So if there's no THC, the CBD will not activate in your body and will not basically give you that sense of relief or whatever it's supposed to be doing when you use it. Mm-hmm. So that's why there has to be. That's why the CBD is usually higher, and then the THC is lower when you like look at a product or some shit like that. For that fucking reason. And then obviously this shit, it obviously can be used for pain and all this other shit, but it also can be used for like anxiety. They both kind of have their things. It's just, those are just the differences. So the THC is what's getting you high. So like if you go to a dispensary, a lot of people are always trying to look for the freaking
the highest THC.
The highest THC, yeah.
Which doesn't really matter in the end.
That's what I've been hearing too. Like that.
It does not matter.
When we first started smoking, we would at least I would always go look for the fucking highest thing. Same. And all that shit. And I was like, ooh, this is 35%. Yup, say less. But then the crazy part is you would find a 35%, and then like the next day or the next time you went there, you found like a 23%, thinking that this one got you way more high than the 33%, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, because I've had some like 18, 19s that I'm like, damn, I'm zooted.
Yeah.
Versus some like 35s that I'm like, damn, I'm kind of just like buzz. Kind
exactly. Of, you know? But yeah, I mean, that's the key differences. Get that shit right. THC, make you feel geek. CBD, don't. Yeah. Okay. Think about it. TB, don't. Or no, CB, don't. And TH, can.
What? It's such a stretch.
Ooh, just remember it that way, guys. All right. TH, can. And CB, don't.
Y'all heard it here first.
TH can get you high.
There you go.
CB don't
get you high. Love it.
Yup. We learning.
Go ahead, Mr. Teacher.
I'm gone now. All right, next one. Slide 6.
Slide number 6.
So this is the benefits of cannabis.
Oh.
Y'all thought I wasn't going to hit you with that one.
Hit us with that one.
So obviously, it relieves chronic pain. This is just a list that I found. There's way more shit. But obviously, that shit releases chronic pain. This is something that I was like, I don't know, but I still put it in here because my next slide will kind of cover it. But it says improves lung capacity. Okay.
Okay.
I'll go more into that after I read the rest of this list.
Okay.
Okay. And then this other one too helps you lose weight, which I'll go more into that one too because I was like, how I feel like I would gain more weight because of if you're smoking hella, you might be eating hella food and shit like that, and you might not be eating the best food. This one I didn't know about, but kind of interesting. So this supposedly helps you regulate, and prevent diabetes.
Wow,
that's interesting, huh?
You're gonna go more in depth with this?
Yep. No, I do, and that I think that one I do go into it.
How does that work? I'm interested now. I'm intrigued.
Yep.
Go ahead, bro. Continue.
But next one is regulate seizures, which I've seen videos that people take in to have seizures and it works for them. And then this one, the last one, treats glaucoma. So when you see like people making fun of shit, it's like, oh, I'm using this for my glaucoma. It's not even like it. Usually in movies, it's like a joke for them to be smoking weed or some shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
But those are some of the reasons, or not reasons, but some of the benefits of cannabis and all this other shit. So to get into like the pain part, so there's hundreds, like there's a whole bunch of like chemical compounds in like cannabis. And then so this is why like cannabis is seen like a product as for like medical cannabis is commonly used for like chronic pain and shit like that. So usually they'll like the doctor will fucking or whatever, people will be like, take this because it helps you with your pain. Because of the freaking compounds that are in there and what they're supposed to do. And then going into like how it improves your lung capacity, it's basically saying like unlike smoking a cigarette, when you're smoking cannabis in like the form like in this form, basically like when you're smoking it up in that form, uh, the cannabis pretty much forms in your lungs. Like the cannabis that goes into your lungs, they're not being harmed by it. So basically, they're saying if you just smoke straight up cannabis with nothing else on it, that's supposed to not harm any of your lungs, basically. Okay. And then so supposedly the study says that it found that cannabis actually helps increase the capacity of your lungs, than rather than like cause any real harm to it. Which my next one goes completely opposite of that. Okay, what? It says the opposite.
Are you just capping on us now?
This is why I said do your own research at the same time. I just thought this was interesting to put in there because I was like, wait, huh? Because I was like, ooh, that's pretty cool, But then the next one was like, nah. So for weight, this one, I don't know. This one I feel like they're kind of capping. They're basically saying, from what I got is, when you look around, and you notice like people that usually smoke cannabis are not really overweight. Which I was like, I don't know. I feel like I only know like a small amount of people that smoke weed, but I couldn't say like what that would be for overweight, So I was like, I don't know. This could be either true or false. Cause
well, you're saying that they can be or can?
No, that they're usually not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're usually not like an overweight person. Usually people who smoke weed are underweight or not seen as overweight, Okay. That's what I got from this shit. So pretty much it's saying that cannabis is pretty much linked to aiding your body and like in regulating insulin while managing like your calorie intake efficiency and all this other shit. So that kind of goes into for like your insulin for like diabetes and shit like that. Because insulin, if it's regulating your insulin, so that means it's making sure that you're getting the right amount of insulin into your body and shit like that, or like doing it effectively. So with diabetes, it's basically helping you prevent and regulate your diabetes because that insulin is constantly flowing in your body. Which, if you have diabetes, you have to take insulin shots because your body's either not producing it or not making enough of it. So smoking weed makes sure that you're, I guess, keeping that up type of shit. So I don't know. That could be debatable. I didn't know. I gotta go look more into that shit. That could be debatable. It can. Y'all prove me wrong in the comments. Tell me the truth.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. That one's a little fishy. It's just because I know some. I mean, actually, I don't know nobody that smokes cannabis that is a diabetic. Mm-hmm. So I think once I find that person, then I'm gonna be like, cat. Mm. But right now.
Okay, next one. So, depression. Obviously, we've gone over this. So depression, it's pretty much like widespread without most people even knowing that they have it. Mm-hmm. So you could have, which is interesting. I remember when I felt like I was depressed for a while, and then when I talked to a doctor about it, he was telling me too, it's like maybe you already had the depression, but it didn't really show itself until this point. And I was like, what the hell? That's possible? And I guess it is. You can already be depressed and not even know it until it actually hits you, and then you're like, damn, I'm actually depressed. It's crazy. Fucking depression is crazy out there. So, like, the endocannabinoid compounds in cannabis, they help, like, stabilize your moods, which can ease your depression. Well, at the same time, I find this crazy because they say that I've read, when I was looking at some research, it was also saying that it's all, like, marijuana is also seen as a depressant drug or some shit like that, Like, it can make you depressed as well if you stop using it or some shit like that. But I've never felt like that. I can't say for sure. What about you?
That has made me depressed?
Yeah, like have you ever felt like some kind of withdrawal from not smoking where you're just like, damn, if I don't smoke, or not even if you don't smoke, but like you're like, I feel depressed, I need to smoke or some shit like that.
Nah. Yeah. I've never felt that.
Yeah, I've never had it like that either. And then so for seizures, it's like the research that has conducted on CBD, it shows that it can help control seizures. So there's like ongoing studies still that are like are helping to determine the effects of cannabis and like how basically affects like individuals with epilepsy.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see videos online about people who like take CBD or some kind of cannabis thing, and they have like epilepsy, and I think that's like where their body's like stuck in some kind of form. I don't know. Let me look this shit up. It might be one of those or something like that. If you got epilepsy, I'm sorry, guys.
Isn't epilepsy like when they get like strokes at random times?
Yeah, that sounds familiar too. But I think they're
Or like mini seizures. I mean, not strokes.
yeah.
They get like mini seizures here and there.
Yeah, that sounds about it. Let's see. I just Googled it right now. What is it? It's a neurological disorder marked by sudden recurrent episodes of sensory disturbance, loss of consciousness, or convulsion associated with abnormal electrical activity in the brain. So yeah, I mean, I think that sounds about right.
Sounds like mini seizures to me.
Abnormal. Yeah, causing seizures or periods of unusual behavior, sensations, and sometimes loss of awareness. Yep. So that's what epilepsy is. If you are somebody who has epilepsy, has more information about it,
Then
please let us
cannabis
know.
might be for you.
That too, but only consume it where it's legal. All right. Y'all thought I wasn't gonna hit you with this one though.
Go ahead.
The cons, okay?
The cons, man.
There's gotta be good. We're not just gonna promote and say this is the good. This is cannabis is only good. There's gotta be bads to everything. Everything in life has a bad.
The yin and the yang.
Yin and the yang. These ones I didn't go too much into. They're pretty much like straightforward, at least in my opinion. Again, just go and look up. Like if you want to know more about this, just look it up yourself. This is just like the basics of what cannabis is and kind of like what it does and shit like that.
You ain't got the answer, Sway.
So this is the last slide. So cons of cannabis, something that makes sense. At least to me, it affects your short-term memory, which I have noticed it before. For me, at least, because there'll be times where someone will tell me something and I'll literally forget it, like in a minute or two, whatever it is, I'll fucking forget it. And it's happened to me like a few times for me to notice it, and I'm just like, damn, it's because I keep fucking smoking, but it's still not like at the point where it's like affecting me so bad, or I'm just like, this is messing me up all the time and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my freaking long-term memory is still good because I can still remember shit from hella far. Just my short-term memory, like if something's happening and someone tells me to go do something or says something that I need to like remember, I'll probably forget it. There's a good chance I'm gonna fucking forget it.
Yeah.
And also too, like, it's hard. Like, I won't even say it's hard for me to focus, but like I'll be thinking about something and I might lose track of that, and then because I'm like lose track of what I was thinking or something like that or looking at, like I just forget of what I was thinking of and all this other shit. Yeah. You ever had anything like that?
I want to say short-term memory. Yeah.
Have you ever had like an episode like that before though?
An episode like where like I'm thinking of something and then I think about something else and I forget about what I'm thinking about.
Well, I mean, like, were you not even like that, but like, were you like your short-term memory came in and you were like, damn, like you forgot something hella quick,
I mean, I feel like at work that be happening to me where I'm like, okay, I have to get this done or I'm about to do this, and then something else comes up, so then I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get that done. I'm gonna get that, do it afterwards, and then after I get get whatever I was doing done, whatever I was supposed to do, I totally forgot about, and I go do something else after that.
Yep.
So if that counts, then yes, all the time I work.
Yep. So here's what kind of goes, like, mixes up the one that I said before, but consuming cannabis, at least when you're smoking it, it damages the lungs, the tissue of your lung, pretty much. So the other one was saying that cannabis actually improves your lung capacity, and it was basically also saying that it doesn't do any harm to your lungs. But this other website I found said, no, this does damage your lungs because it's the same thing, like smoking a cigarette. So they were saying that there's some, I don't know if this is real, but supposedly there's some stuff in cannabis that are the same in tobacco.
That's cap.
And supposedly that stuff is what makes your lungs or hurts your lungs and shit like that. Which I was like, I don't think there is, because what I've heard is that there is no like cannabis and tobacco are different. They don't have the same anything in there unless unless somebody's grown it and putting that shit in there themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a little weird.
But
And
I
also, I feel like with the first one, it was saying that it's just cannabis alone. The second one didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the second one's kind of talking about like what we're doing. We're smoking a wood, or we're rolling a blunt.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what they're saying. It's like smoking a cigarette. Whereas the other one was like, okay, well, don't smoke that, but just smoke the cannabis in itself, and then you'll be good. Yeah. So that's kind of where the two, I feel like.
That's how I saw it too, because I was like, wait, because I was like, well, when I smoke a blunt, when I smoke a sweet, or when I smoke a wood or whatever, we're basically putting tobacco over it to smoke it with. So I'm not really smoking just the cannabis. I'm smoking cannabis plus this tobacco and shit like that.
Yeah, tobacco leaf.
Yep. So, I mean, that's how I saw it too. I was like, okay, so it might be like that too. So I'd have to just smoking it out of a glass or smoking it like, through a pipe or some shit like that would basically be you smoking just the weed itself. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's how I thought about it too. So this is supposedly, I mean, I can kind of see why this is true too, but it's also a risk abuse and addiction drug. Is how it's seen. So basically it's saying if you smoke it, you're at risk of abusing it and or getting addicted to it. Which I have seen it before. Some people go crazy when they first start smoking, and then you're just like, damn, bro, like you should have gone in moderation or some shit like that.
But that also goes back down to like everybody, to their own person, because I don't know, if you know how you are as a person and you feel like you're an addictive person, then it's like you should probably either A, know your limits, or B, like just stay away from stuff. Anything that you feel like is gonna just attract you, get you to just continuously do it to where it affects you. Because that's the thing. That's when I think of addictive, like addiction, I think about like it affecting your life in a negative way, you just like, there's people that drink alcohol, but it does not affect their life. They're like, after work, I always have a beer type shit. But that doesn't mean that I go to work drunk or that I go out and get drunk, But regardless, I'm still going to come home and drink a beer type shit. So it's like, it comes down to each person.
He's spitting facts out here. He's not capping. Someone take his cap off.
I don't got no cap because I don't cap.
But yeah, I don't think I've ever been addicted or abused it. I mean, maybe when I first started smoking.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, like, if you see it, then it's your responsibility to react on it and be like, okay, this is what I see, how about trying this out? Instead of just saying, fuck it, I see it, but I'm going to keep doing it. At that point, it's your own fault.
You're your own person. You can't blame anybody besides yourself if you get to a point like that. Right?
I mean, there's certain situations that we just can't really speak on, but
damn,
I feel like it just comes down to understanding, like whatever the situation is, and for that person, as long as you have an understanding of why they're experiencing that, and it's like, I don't know, you can't really say that it's their own fault, but then at the same time you can. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to get at.
Top double entendre.
Yeah.
Ooh, fuck with it. Cool. So this other one, kind of not believable, but it was on here. So supposedly a high percentage of car crashes and accidents have been caused from consumption of cannabis.
Is that true?
I don't know. I mean, this is what this is what some of my research came up to. And I mean, I don't think so. I wouldn't promote to go driving and stuff like that when you're high. But I know that it makes me a cautious driver. Yeah. And it doesn't make, and like, if you are like, if it's someone who was high, I feel like it might have been somebody who had just been high and had that THC in their body, maybe. Or, maybe they got tested. And, because the cannabis stays in your body for like a fucking, I think it's about like 30 days or some shit like that if you don't.
Depending on how much you smoke.
Yeah. So, but that's usually like the amount and all this other shit. So, that's for another time. We can go more into this shit on another episode. But
Yeah.
like, how we're gonna teach you how to pass a drug test.
What? That's all him because I ain't never had to take a drug test.
Cap.
Not a pee drug test.
All right. Last one. So in some states and around the world, this is obvious. It's still seen as an illegal drug.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. Texas is one of the big ones. They will freaking put you on death row if they catch you with weed.
It's still seen as the devil's lechuga out there.
Yeah, bro, but not the good lechuga.
The fucking Ron has lechugas and shit. So as long as like if you're in a state or a country that has it legalized and you're using it for like
recreational purposes.
Yeah, recreationally, make sure you're doing it like that. At the end of the day, we can't tell you what to do. Like, if you are in a state that doesn't have it legalized yet and you're still using it,
be smart with it.
Be smart with it type of shit. So don't get yourself fucking fucked up or some shit. Huh.
Yeah, but also, I mean, these states that are legalizing, they need to start releasing these black and brown brothers and sisters of ours that were in there for weed-related charges. Yep. Also, it's only fucking fair.
But yeah, that wraps it up for the fucking presentation, guys. If you got any questions, leave them down in the comments. If you're trying to correct me, leave it down in the comments. Because I know y'all capping. And I'm capping. But that's the end. That's a little basics of
Cannabis 101.
Yep.
When are we going to get Cannabis 102?
That's more. He's about to go deep into it.
More deep. Watch.
He's going to go way more deeper. But yeah, it's just, at the end of the day, like, consuming cannabis in any form or whatever, it really, like, I didn't do any research about it. I just kind of did it, and I didn't really learn more about it until I started doing it. But if you are somebody out there who's interested or has thought about, maybe you've been taught something different and you've never heard this before, maybe it's like opened you up to learn more about it and be more open to it. Because I don't see it as something that you use to abuse or you use to have fun with all the time and shit like that. I do have fun smoking with, but I don't see it as like something that's gonna say you're at a party or some shit like that. I'm trying to hit this shit. You're at a party and then everybody's like, yeah, you need to smoke in order to have fun. Like, I don't think you need it like that. You can still have fun at the party and
not be high.
Yeah, not be high type of shit. But yeah, like, and then I would just say also, just like I mentioned before, if you're gonna do it, make sure you're doing it and you're doing it like, in a safe manner type of shit where you're not hurting anybody or something like that, And also just be aware of, like, how Moy was saying, be aware of yourself and your body so that you don't get into anything crazy and shit like
know your limits. That goes for anything and everything.
Anything else you want to add on to that?
No. Thank you for the lesson today, Mr. Sladrill. It was actually really informative.
Hey. So, I did this shit all in an hour at work. But yeah. Guys. Stay tuned for more episodes. Like Moy was just mentioning, we're working on hopefully making the space bigger soon. And hopefully by then, there's a whole fucking different vibe and a whole different layout and some shit like that.
The Midnight Sesh is going to become the Midnight Sesh.
Ooh. Alright, guys.
Follow us on IG.
Comment down below if you fuck with the lesson.
If there's any other facts that y'all know, go ahead and comment down below too.
Exactly. Alright, guys. Good night.